Welcome back, Poke fans. Grief is here with Pokemon Emerald. It's our second playthrough on the channel and I'm super pumped for you guys to see it. And while this isn't a hardcore Nuzlocke, regular playthroughs aren't really that challenging anymore, and as I continue growing and creating Pokemon content on the channel, the risks will increase. This being our second playthrough, here are the rules. Matches are set. I got a lot of comments on Fire Red suggesting I use set, and I'll always listen to the fans, so that's what I'm doing. I have to battle every trainer. That means gyms, hideouts, and routes. There's a 5-level cap for the ace of the next gym. I'm gonna try to avoid exploiting that unless I absolutely have to, but I don't think I'll ever have to go more than a few levels over before I reach the Elite Four. If I white out, that equals a reset. Like I said, this isn't hardcore, but if I ever white out, I have to restart at the last new Pokemon Center I healed at. The first heal at a Pokemon Center sets the checkpoint. No legends on the team. I can catch them and put them in the box, but that's where they'll stay. And lastly, but most importantly, win or else. If I white out to the Elite Four or the Champion, that's the end of the run. Do you think I have what it takes to beat the Elite Four and the Champion? Welcome to the Grief Lock. As we step out of Roxanne's gym, we hear a commotion. Rushing over to see what's going on, a member of Team Aqua is being chased off by the same guy from Devoncorp that we saved in the woods. We run after them, ready to lead our assistants against Aqua. When we catch up to the man, he remembers us and tells us that Aqua grunt from before tracked him down at work and stole his goods and booked it to Rust Turf Tunnel. I take my cue and chase after the thug, hoping to catch him before he gets too far. I make it to the entrance and encounter a man outside in a panic. While escaping, the Aqua grunt managed to steal this poor man's Wingull. Having my own on the team, I felt sympathy, quickly turning to rage against Aqua. It's now personal. I enter the tunnel and before me is the grunt with a stolen Wingull. You know, I must admit, they already seem more capable than Rocket ever was. I approach him as he tries to retreat, but it's too late. There's nowhere left to run. It's another dogfight as we both lead with Poochyena. We've been grinding for Roxanne while he's been plotting revenge, and it shows in our levels. I go ahead and take whatever accuracy he has away by using 3 sand attacks before finally sicking Scruffy on it. It manages to tackle as I set up a howl. 2 more bites take it out, and the grunt is again defeated. Upset about the loss, he starts complaining about how boss said this was supposed to be an easy gig. In and out. I guess they weren't planning on some kid to foil their plans. He hands over the package he stole from Devon and runs back from where he came, leaving behind the Wingull too. The man at the entrance must have seen this, because not long after leaving, he comes running up, pushing me out of the way to get to his bird. Jeez, man, I get you missed it, but it's not like it's a shiny. He thanks me and introduces himself as Mr. Briny, a retired skipper who lives in a cottage on the other side of Petalburg Woods. And if I ever need anything, to just stop by and ask. I'll go see him soon, but first, I need to return this package back to that Devon guy. I rush back to him and find him right where I left him. I hand him his package and he gives me a great ball as thanks and escorts me back to the Devon headquarters to meet the president of the company himself. He brings me over to a rather large table, and sitting behind its dominating presence is a frail older gentleman named Mr. Stone. The Devon rep told him how I saved him twice now from Team Aqua. He said he's got a favor to ask and feels like someone like me could get the job done. Deliver a letter to Steven and Duford. Alright. He then presents me with the Pokénav to help make sure that I don't get lost. I have to head to Duford for the next gym anyway, so I accept the offer and head off like the good delivery boy I am. Upon exiting the building, I'm hailed down by one of Devon's developers wanting to install a bonus feature on my nav. I let him see it and he returns it with the match call. Now, anyone that I've got saved in my contacts can call me anytime. Wow, neat. I've never seen anything like this before. I call the president to text the connection to make sure that it works as the developer goes back to work. Now that that's done, I need to get a start at figuring out how to get to Duford. I saw a boat docked at Mr. Briny's house on the way here. Maybe I can ask him for a lift. But before I can leave town, I run into May. I smoothly slip her my Pokénav and get them digits. She asks me how my dex is coming along and asks to battle to show off our new Pokemon. Not one to shy away from combat, I gladly accept. She better be ready, cause I'm not holding back. She leads with Torkoal as I switch into Gullet from Scruffy as Torkoal sets up a curse. I use Wing Attack for whatever reason and it curses again. I then use Water Gun as it curses for a 3rd time. But thankfully one more Water Gun takes it out. That could have been a problem. Next up is her Mudkip, so I use Supersonic, confusing it. It uses Water Gun as I switch into Party Boy and then uses Bide, snapping out of confusion. I use a Nature Power Swift and an Astonish before it unleashes its Bide. I then start absorbing its life points until it falls. May is defeated. After battling, I healed up before setting off back through Petalburg Woods. Now that we have cut, we take an alternate path back through and meet a girl that gives us a Miracle Seed. We find a few more items before making it back to the other side. Now, safely out of the woods, we head over to Mr. Briney's cabin and enter to see him playing a never-ending game of tag with his Wingull Pico. I hate to interrupt, but I have urgent matters to take care of. I ask him for a ride to Dewport and he happily obliges. I follow him to his boat and we set sail. We arrive in Dewport and I make off to find Steven so I can give him this letter. Mr. Briney said that he'd wait for me at the dock until we're ready to leave, so I don't have to worry about getting stranded out here. I heal at the Pokemon Center, unlocking our next checkpoint. I then start looking for Steven in the houses, but don't seem to find him. Just a couple loving salt life and a building full of fanboys gushing over some TV show about chores. I don't know, it sounds about as much appealing as Yellowstone. I'll pass on that. For such a small island, Steven sure knows how to make himself scarce. Maybe I should check that old mining cave the people on the island mentioned. It's worth a shot, so I head up to the top of the island and enter Granite Cave. The hiker at the entrance gives me Flash, but I'll need to beat Brawly to use it. I put it in my bag and press deeper into the darkest parts of the cave. I'm sure we'll be fine. While down here, we run into a Sableye and manage to catch it and name it Gremlin. She's a strong member and will have a solid place on the team for a while. We then catch a Makuhita we named Roshi. We don't really need another fighting type since we have Combuskin already, but we'll add him to the box for now. We eventually locate Steven in a cave not far from the exit, mining for rare stones. We hand him the letter from Mr. Stone and he gives us the TM for Steel Wing as a reward. We register each other in the Pokénavs before Steven exits, presumably to reply to the letter. Now that was done, it was time to start grinding for Brawly. He's got a hard-hitting level 19 Makuhita. I'm not too worried having a Gremlin in the back, but most of my team is still around level 15. If he can manage to set up, he's gonna prove to be a real issue if I'm not careful. While grinding, we come across an Aeron. I decide to go ahead and invest in an Aggron. While he may have his flaws, he's still a beefy tank that can pack a punch. Welcome, Frank, to the team. With all this excitement and leveling, Scruffy decided to evolve into a mangy mutt. I managed to get the whole team up to level 20 grinding off camera when a shiny Makuhita popped up out of nowhere. I was able to capture the battle and catching it though. That makes 2 shiny Pokemon this playthrough, and I am not complaining. I just hope my luck can stay up. Now I just have to decide who to replace. Bye-bye, Mighty Anna. You weren't with us long, but I'll cherish the time we spent together. Now that everyone on the team is leveled, it was time to face Brawly. I enter the gym and it's pitch black. Only enough light to see a few feet in front of me. I tread lightly through the narrow halls and encounter the first trainer. She sends out a Meditite that goes down in one wing attack from Gullet, and as she's defeated, the lights come up a little bit. This must be some sort of trick. How tough could the fighting gym be if they lead you down a dark, narrow alley and jump you? I don't feel bad about being over-leveled against these chumps now. I'll battle every last one of these fake tough guys until the lights are all back on. Eventually, I manhandle enough of Brawly's cronies that there's enough vision to see a clear path. Wiping his followers' blood from my knuckles, I approach this so-called gym leader. So, I heard you like to fight. He leads with Machop, and I'm leading Gullet. We use Wing Attack as we get Seismic Toss. Brawly uses a Super Potion, saving it before I can Wing Attack again, but one more is able to take it out. Next is Meditite, and I stay in and keep Wing Attacking. It manages to set up with Bulk Up, and Brawly uses another Super Potion, but it goes down just like Machop. Last up is Makuhita, and I start off with Supersonic, setting up Confusion as it bulks up. I then Wing Attack as it manages to hit a Vital Throw through Confusion. I use one more Wing Attack, and not wanting any more of this shiny bird smoke, punches himself in the face, ending the battle. Brawly is defeated. With that, the lights come up and illuminate the gym as I'm rewarded with $1,900, TM8, and the Knuckle Badge. We register each other in case he ever wants a rematch, and I go on my way. I have to go meet back with Mr. Briney. We've got some sailing to do.